You know, in my last video, somebody kept saying that I kept farting. I'm not farting. Listen. Hear that? It's this chair. I swear. I was laughing. He's like, dude tooted 5:45. It was pretty funny. Actually, killed poop. But I swear. Hear that? It's a chair.
Yeah, it's a hot day. I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with the splash gun.
This has been a really weird week for me. It has. I mean, my life's been weird since 2012, because it's been a little weird. But yeah, this week's been really weird because I feel so happy and so connected, and just this overwhelming sense of joy from the moment I get up to the moment I go to sleep. And it just seems weird that that's happening during this time. And I tell you, man, I've been watching the news more, and I've been going on Facebook and stuff, and I am so detached from what's going on. Not like I don't care, but I'm watching it. And you know, I've been talking about this shifting of realities, and how, you know, there's this split coming up, you know, and I'd mentioned it about the love train and the fear train. And man, I just feel like I'm just like on the love train, and I'm watching these people on the fear train, and it's speeding up. I mean, I'm seeing comments from people on Facebook that I know that are so over the top, losing their mind. I mean, it's turning everyday normal people that I thought into like these Herbert, who's this rich guy, like, I don't know his name, that didn't even touch anybody, that wouldn't, I mean, that's what it's turning. People are afraid of everything. We're afraid of fucking Amazon packages. We're afraid of USPS. We're afraid of going to the grocery store and wiping. This is overkill, and you need to chill out. Okay, you need to chill out, because what you're doing is you're letting these fearful thoughts plant seeds in your brain, and so when this shit's over, you're still going to have this fear, and you're still going to be afraid of everything. You don't want to be afraid of everything. Damn, who knows what's going to happen after this, because people are so freaked out. You know, I saw that when you go to the grocery store, they got like a sneeze guard now, you know, like a plastic shield. Dude, I hope they don't keep that, because that's the kind of stuff that's just like the TSA. Remember 9/11? And then they roll in this TSA, take off your shoes, man, I'm done with that. That never saved anybody. The energy on the planet is off the charts high. And so as the energy increases, everything is going to rise to the surface. Everything that we push down, all of our fears, all of our little insecurities. And like, it's interesting because one of my insecurities has always been my teeth. And I've just been insecure about my teeth. And ironically enough, 2 days ago, we're watching a movie, and I'm eating popcorn, and I chew on a kernel and break my friggin' crown off. I just thought it was interesting that one of my biggest insecurities, and I broke a tooth off. If it was my front tooth, I would not be making a video. My friends that I talk to, and I don't have, you know, a ton of friends, but, you know, I got like 12 tight friends that, you know, I talk to and share my life with. And they're all rock solid. You know what I mean? They're just like solid. Like, and like a few of them have lost their job and their income. And like, so it's not easy. But there's this knowing to them, and this just, they're not panicking, they're not freaking out. And then I watched this ECKART TOLLE video, and he put it out a couple days ago. it so perfectly described why people are freaking out in the world and why some people are just rock solid.
I'd like to share with you a short passage from the Bible. It doesn't happen very often that I read from the Bible as part of a teaching. This is from the New Testament, and it is a parable that Jesus tells that is very profound and absolutely relevant to the present time. So here we go. Everyone who listens to these words of mine and does them will be like a man building a house, who dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock. The rain fell, the floods came, and the wind blew and beat against the house. But it did not collapse. It had been set solidly on rock. And everyone who listens to these words of mine but does not do them will be like a fool who built his house on sand. The rain fell, the floods came, and the wind blew and beat against the house. And it collapsed and was completely ruined.
If your understanding of the world is what you've been taught, and you haven't dug any deeper to find out who you are, the 2020 shitstorm is going to, you're going to have some serious challenges and some adversities, some small and some big, but that's a good thing. It really is, because it makes you dig deeper. And that's what you want. Now's the time to go deep, if you already haven't done it, and find that rock to build a foundation on, because you are so much more than you think you are. If you're thinking that, like, if you're like wrapped up in trying to save this system that's collapsing, you know, the financial system, and, you know, the banks, and then our medical system, and the pharmaceutical companies, and the educational system. And if you're trying to save this, you know, good luck. I'm not going to try to save this system. I mean, in my opinion, this might be the time that it implodes. And to me, that's a really good thing, because I just don't think that that's not the kind of world that I want to live in the future, and it's not the kind of world I want my children to live in. So if we're talking about creating worlds, I think this is a good thing. I think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity to recreate the world with light instead of this dark shit, because I'm not into it. You know, so for me to watch this corrupt system collapse, I don't know. I'm just kind of detached. I will watch this system collapse, and I know that in the world that I'm shifting to, that the solutions for all of these problems already exist. I mean, I have various views. I have like the 3D or the 4D view, and then I have the 5D view of what's happening. And my 5D view is like everything is unfolding perfectly, and like perfectly. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited. Now the 4D me, the 3D me that's experiencing time, there's going to be some serious, you know, challenges coming up. You know what I mean? Like when this collapses, it will be challenging for a little while. But I'm certainly not going to jump into fear, because this needs to happen. And for those people that haven't dug deep and built their foundation on a rock, this is going to be a really good chance for them to dig deeper. Because once this, once this surface understanding of our reality crumbles, you'll be forced to dig deep. And it'll end up being the best thing that ever happened to you. So, I almost feel bad for being so positive, but I just really think that this is going to be really cool. I do think that people really need to, you need to stop thinking about these fearful thoughts. You have to become present, because the energy is so high in 2020 that when you let these fearful thoughts go and they start attracting more and attracting you more, and then you're just living in this stream of fearful thoughts, they're going to take root in 2020. And they might hinder your ability to jump back on this love train that I'm always talking about. So, I don't know, this is a really important year. And if you really are having trouble stopping this, because you need to stop this. And all my videos I talk about, you need to stop this. This, especially during times like this pandemic, like, you need to turn this off, because the thoughts are going to take over. And I know you might not like the outcome. So there's been various people talk about in the spiritual world, the shifting of the earth into two separate earths, and that there was going to be a time when you could still see each other, but you can't be affected by the other, almost like the love train and the fear train. And there's going to be a shift, and you can see the people freaking out, but they can't affect you. Well, I feel like that's what's happening to me. And I mean, it happens to everybody individually, but I'm on the love train, and I'm just going to keep making videos to try to pull as many people as I can onto this love train, because I don't want anything to do with that. This is where we're going. We're creating a new world. I'm not going to try to save this. I'm creating a new world, and I think I'm going to see most of you over here. So, okay, man, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll make a video next week, and I'll be seeing some of you guys in the field, personal sessions, and group, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. Peace.
We have said that your year of 2020 is a pivotal point in what you call your history. You are shifting through a very particular moment, crossing a very particular threshold. And so, at this timing, it is important for certain states of being to be paramount within you, to help you through this time, to help you cross that threshold in a positive and constructive manner. For what comes after will be predicated very strongly on what you do and who you are in 2020. We would like each and every one of you to know how important it is for you to truly be yourselves in the coming year. How important it will be for you to make decisions that are in alignment with your best discernment. How important it will be, and how important it is for you to remain at the center of the storm. Because, if I may use some of your colloquial language, 2020 is going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy. And it is of paramount importance that you remain, if you wish to be on a certain train, in the eye of the storm where it's calm, where peace and solitude reigns, where even though you may see the storm raging all around you, swirling around you, thundering and lightning, all around you. It is more important than ever before, and more important than it will be for quite a long time during this crossing, during this threshold, during this pivotal year, to be at peace within yourself, to be calm within yourself, to be centered within the eye of the storm. So we would highly encourage each and every one of you to really take stock of who you really are and what kind of decisions you really choose to make and how they are or are not in alignment with what you truly wish your world to be.
I've been getting a couple emails where people were like, so what do you think's really happening? And if you're my friend, you know what I think. Because I have very strong opinions on that stuff. And but I usually don't talk about politics or religion because I think what I'm trying to get across, the information that I'm trying to put out is just more important than that. So I just don't talk about that. I will say that this is totally like, if somebody said, hey man, this virus has been man-made and it was purposely released and it was planned out that the economy, basically the world economy was going to shut down, and I would be like, yeah, I could see that, because I just don't believe any of that stuff that I see. I mean, I believe that there's a virus, and I believe that people are sick, and I believe that people are dying, but I don't know. I remember 19 years ago when they told us that a 737 flew into the Pentagon, and then a 737 flew into the ground in Pennsylvania, and then Building 7 just implodes on us. Like, I don't put anything past. Whatever. So, I don't really talk about that, because what I want to talk about makes all that irrelevant.
So bring your A game, cause you know this party won't stop. We could never run out of time, sipping strawberry lime. You know I wanna share it with you. Bass is going boom boom. Baby, if you're looking for some